1914 we took a little trip along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. Took a little bacon and we took a little beans and we fought the bloody British at the town of New Orleans. We fired our guns and the British kept a-coming. Wasn't as many as there was a while ago. Fired once more and they began to running down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. We fired our cannon till the barrel melted down. Then we grabbed an alligator and we fought another round. Filled his head with cannonballs and powdered his behind. And when we touched the gator off, the powder lost the line. We fired our guns with the British kept a-coming, but there wasn't as many as there was a while ago. Fired once more and they began to running on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Well, I looked down the river and I seen the British come, and there must have been 100 of them beating on the drums. Stepped so high and they made the bugles ring. We stood beside a cotton bale and didn't say a thing. Old Hickory said we'd take 'em by surprise, so don't fire a musket till we look 'em in the eyes. Felled our fire till we see their faces well, then they opened up their squirrel's gun and really gave 'em hell. We fired our guns and the British kept a-coming, but there wasn't as many as there was a while ago. Fired once more and they began to running on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. They told old Hickory he'd better run, 'cause packing hounds are coming with a bullet in his gun. Old Hickory said that he didn't give a damn. He was gonna whip the britches off of Colonel Packing Hound. Fired our gun and the British kept a-coming, but there wasn't as many as there was a while ago. Fired once more and they began to running on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Well, I saw Paul Jackson walking down the street. He was talking to a pirate by the name of Jimmy Pete. He gave the pirate a drink that he brung from Tennessee, and the pirate said he'd help us drive the British in the sea. We fired our guns and the British kept a-coming, but there wasn't as many as there was a while ago. Fired once more and they began to running on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Well, they lost their pants and their mighty shiny coats, and their tails were all a-shining like a bunch of billy goats. Ran through the bush and they ran through the bramble, and they ran through the bushes where a rabbit couldn't go. Ran so fast that the hounds couldn't catch 'em on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Now, if you want to find radar, here's how to do it. Just get in a truck and lay right to it. Get over in Virginia at the radar stand. A trooper be waiting with a ticket in his hand. Have your driver's license ready. Little money. Registration. Now, the funniest thing that I ever did see was a radar sitting in the top of a tree. Troopers running around on the ground, waiting for the trucks to come on down. Had binoculars, walkie-talkies, fast forwards. Now, I was running down the road and I was running wild, and the JP said with a smile, "I know that boy and he'll be back, 'cause I seen on the front he's a wheeling a Mac." I had her smoking. I was getting on it. Well, I run to the radar at 74, and the trooper said, "You won't do it no more." I asked the trooper, would he turn me loose, and he said, "Boy, they're gonna cook your goose, gonna put you to walking." Looking for a job. Well, I told the judge didn't have no bail, and he said, "Son, you're going to jail." Got on the phone, calling home. Needed the money. Now, there's just one thing that I'd like to know, and I'd like to know it before I go. If I didn't catch anyone with a radar gimmick, I wonder then if they'd lower the limit. And if you want to get in trouble, let me tell you how to do it. Just get your guitar and then you're into it. Won't let you practice. Send you out to hen house. Now, I've got myself a guitar about a week or so ago, and a feller said I'd learn it in a week or so. For 6 long weeks I labored hard at trying to learn them few main chords. Fingers got sore. Wouldn't let me practice. My sister, she took it to the ball, 'cause she got married that coming fall. She said for love, but I have my doubts. I think that guitar chased her out. She's a game girl. Just couldn't take it. Now, Pa, he took it a different way. He said, you may turn your ma's hair gray and drive your sister away from home, but boy, you or I are fixing to roam, and I ain't leaving. Said, you figure it out. Hard luck. So the next day after my bag was packed, I swung my guitar across my back. Searched this world for my fame. Ain't found nothing. Hardships, hand-me-downs, hard knocks. Over that, but I left that at the movie. Yeah. Got it? Okay. Testing. Now, I'm a fellow with a heart of gold, with the ways of a gentleman, I've been told. I'm a kind of fellow who wouldn't even harm a flea. But if me and a certain character met, the guy that invented that cigarette, I'd murder that son of a gun in the first degree. Now, it ain't 'cause I don't smoke myself, and I don't reckon they'll injure your health. I've smoked them all my life, and I ain't dead yet. But nicotine slaves in the poker game and the petting party, it's all the same. Everything gotta stop while I have that cigarette. Now smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Puff, puff, puff it till you smoke yourself to death. Tell St. Peter at the Golden Gate that you hates to make him wait. You just gotta have another cigarette. Now, in a game of chance the other night, old Dame Fortune was doing me right. The queens and kings just kept on coming my way. Well, I got a full and I bet 'em high, but my bluff didn't work on a certain guy. He kept on raising and laying that money down. Now, he'd raise me and I'd raise him. I was sweaty blood, a gonna sink or swim. He finally called and he didn't raise the bet. I says, Ace is full, pal, how about you? And he says, I'll tell you in a minute or two, but right now I gotta have another cigarette. Now smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Puff, puff, puff it till you smoke yourself to death. Tell St. Peter at the Golden Gate that you haste to make him wait. You just gotta have another cigarette. Now, the other night, I had a date with the cutest little gal in the 48 states, a high fancy little dame. She was oh so far from a chunk of ice, and our petting party was going real nice, so hand in hand, we walked down Brother's Lane. I give her a kiss and a little squeeze, and she said, Tex, excuse me, please, right now I gotta have another cigarette. Now, smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Puff, puff, puff it till you smoke yourself to death. Tell St. Peter at the Golden Gate that you hate to make him wait. You just gotta have another cigarette.